Right now, as you watch this video, something extraordinary is happening. Your life is being written second by second, choice by choice. But here's what terrifies me. Most people are letting someone else hold the pen. You see, I used to believe I had endless tomorrows. I thought time was this infinite resource that would always be there when I was ready. But then I realized something that changed everything. Time doesn't wait for you to get your life together. It moves whether you're moving with it or not. Every morning, you wake up with 86,400 seconds in your account. By midnight, they're gone forever. You can't save them, you can't borrow them, you can't get a refund. The question is, what are you building with those seconds? Today, I'm not here to give you gentle motivation. I'm here to shake you awake with truth that will either transform your life or make you incredibly uncomfortable. These aren't just 30 tips. They're 30 life-changing principles that separate those who merely exist from those who truly live. So tell me in the comments, what's one dream you've been postponing, and why is today the day you stop waiting? Let me tell you about two entrepreneurs I know. Sarah worked 80 hours a week, answered every email within minutes, attended every meeting. She was always busy, always stressed, always tired. Mark worked 40 hours a week, but spent 10 hours planning, studying his market, and building systems that worked while he slept. After 2 years, Sarah was burned out and barely breaking even. Mark had built $1 million business and was taking month-long vacations. The difference? Sarah confused motion with progress. Mark understood that being busy is not the same as being productive. Here's the brutal truth. You can climb the ladder of success faster than anyone else, but if it's leaning against the wrong wall, you'll just reach the wrong destination quicker. Working hard without direction is like running full speed in a maze. Lots of energy, zero progress. Smart work means asking the right questions before you start sweating. What will move the needle forward? What can I eliminate that doesn't add value? How can I build systems that multiply my efforts? Think about the ancient story of the two woodcutters. One chopped trees for 8 hours straight, never stopping. The other worked for 7 hours, but spent 1 hour sharpening his axe. At day's end, the second woodcutter had cut twice as many trees with half the effort. Your mind is your axe. When did you last sharpen it? In our hyper-connected world, we mistake activity for achievement. We attend meetings about meetings, create presentations about presentations, and somehow convince ourselves that being busy equals being valuable. But busy work is just procrastination disguised as productivity. The most successful people I know have mastered the art of strategic laziness. They're lazy about unimportant things so they can be ruthless about important ones. They say no to good opportunities so they can say yes to great ones. Here's your challenge. For the next week, before starting any task, ask yourself, will this action directly contribute to my most important goal? If the answer is no, don't do it. If the answer is yes, give it everything you have. Remember, energy is finite, but leverage is infinite. One smart decision can save you 1,000 hours of hard work. One system can replace a lifetime of manual effort. One strategic partnership can accomplish what years of solo grinding cannot. The goal isn't to work harder. It's to work so smart that hard work becomes optional. Your willpower is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. But here's what most people don't understand. Willpower isn't about feeling motivated. It's about moving forward when motivation has abandoned you. I once met a man who lost 100 pounds, learned 3 languages, and built a successful business, all in the same year. When I asked him his secret, he said something that changed my perspective forever. I stopped waiting to feel like doing things. I started doing things whether I felt like it or not. This is the difference between dreamers and achievers. Dreamers wait for the perfect moment, the right mood, the ideal circumstances. Achievers understand that the perfect moment is a myth, and the right mood is a luxury they can't afford. Your body will lie to you. It will tell you you're too tired, too stressed, too busy. Your mind will betray you. It will create elaborate excuses, rational justifications, and compelling reasons to quit. But your willpower? That's your truth. That's your power. That's your pathway to everything you've ever wanted. Let me share a story that will illustrate this perfectly. There was a student who failed his entrance exam 3 times. His friends graduated, got jobs, started families. He could have given up, could have chosen an easier path. Instead, he made a deal with himself. I'll study for 4 hours every day, whether I feel like it or not, until I pass. Some days he was sick. He studied. Some days he was heartbroken. He studied. Some days he questioned everything. He studied. On the 4th attempt, he didn't just pass. He scored in the top 1%. Today, he's a leading surgeon saving lives daily. What changed? Not his intelligence. Not his circumstances. His willpower. Here's the secret most people never learn. Willpower grows stronger with use, but weaker with excuses. Every time you honor your commitment to yourself, you build trust with the most important person in your life, you. Every time you break that commitment, you chip away at your self-respect. Willpower is what gets you out of bed when your alarm goes off. It's what makes you choose the salad over the burger. It's what keeps you studying when everyone else is partying. It's what makes you practice when everyone else is playing. But willpower isn't about being a machine. It's about being intentional. It's about deciding who you want to become and then making choices that align with that vision, regardless of how you feel in the moment. The most successful people aren't those who never feel like quitting. They're those who quit quitting. They feel the same doubts, the same fears, the same exhaustion as everyone else. But they've trained their willpower to be stronger than their feelings. Your willpower is your superpower. The question is, are you using it or are you letting it atrophy? Start small. Pick one thing you know you should do but haven't been doing. Commit to doing it for just 10 minutes a day for the next week. No excuses, no negotiations, no exceptions. Watch how this small act of willpower ripples into other areas of your life. Because here's the truth. Everything you want is on the other side of what you don't feel like doing. We live in the greatest age of consumption in human history. You can stream infinite movies, scroll endless feeds, and consume more information in a day than our ancestors did in a lifetime. But here's the paradox. The more we consume, the emptier we feel. There are 2 types of people in this world. Those who create value and those who consume it. Consumers scroll through life, watching others live their dreams. Producers build the dreams that others watch. Which one are you? Let me tell you about David. 5 years ago, he was consuming 6 hours of content daily. YouTube videos, Netflix shows, social media feeds. He felt busy, entertained, but somehow empty. One day, he asked himself a life-changing question. What if I spent just 1 hour creating for every hour I consume? He started a blog, then a podcast, then an online course. Today, his content has helped millions of people, and he's built a business that gives him complete freedom. The transformation didn't happen because he stopped consuming. It happened because he started producing. The shift from consumer to producer is the shift from ordinary to extraordinary. Think about it. Every successful person you admire is fundamentally a producer. They produce value, produce solutions, produce content, produce businesses, produce change. They take raw materials, whether that's ideas, skills, or resources, and transform them into something valuable for others. But here's what stops most people. They think they need to be perfect before they start producing. They wait until they know everything, until they have the perfect setup, until they feel ready. Meanwhile, mediocre producers are building empires while perfectionists are still planning. I know a woman who wanted to start a fitness channel, but felt she wasn't fit enough. While she was waiting to get in perfect shape, dozens of other creators with average physiques built massive followings by simply starting where they were and documenting their journey. Progress, not perfection, is what builds producers. The consumer mindset asks, what can I get? The producer mindset asks, what can I give? This single shift in perspective changes everything. When you focus on giving value, opportunities multiply. When you focus on getting entertainment, time disappears. Here's the shocking truth. Most of what you consume adds 0 value to your life. That funny video you watched yesterday, where did it take you? That gossip you read, how did it improve your situation? That random scroll session, what did you build? Compare that to spending the same time, writing 1 blog post, recording 1 video, learning one new skill, building one small project, teaching someone something you know. The difference is astronomical. One path creates, the other just kills time. But becoming a producer doesn't mean you have to build the next Facebook. It means shifting your default mode from consumption to creation. Instead of just reading books, write reviews. Instead of just watching videos, create tutorials. Instead of just having opinions, build solutions. The most beautiful part about becoming a producer is that it compounds. Every piece of content you create, every skill you develop, every value you add becomes part of your legacy. While consumption disappears the moment it's finished, production lives forever. Start today, right now. Take something you learned from this video and teach it to someone else. Take a problem you've solved and share the solution. Take an idea you have and make it real. Because in a world full of consumers, producers rule. The age of passive entertainment is ending. The age of active creation is beginning. The question is, will you be watching from the sidelines or will you be building on the field? Your words are more powerful than you realize. They don't just communicate, they create. They create your reputation, your relationships, and ultimately, your reality. And nowhere is this more dangerous than when you speak about someone who isn't present to defend themselves. Talking behind someone's back might seem harmless, might even feel good in the moment, but it's one of the most destructive habits you can develop. Here's why. Every time you speak negatively about someone in their absence, you're not just damaging their reputation, you're destroying your own integrity. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates this principle. There was a manager named Lisa who was brilliant at her job, but had one fatal flaw. She couldn't resist sharing confidential insights about her colleagues. She thought she was building alliances, creating trust, showing that she was in the know. What actually happened was devastating. Word spread that Lisa couldn't be trusted with sensitive information. When a promotion opportunity arose, the leadership team had one question. Can we trust her with confidential company matters? The answer was a unanimous no. Her technical skills were perfect, but her character was flawed. Your character is your most valuable asset. Once it's damaged, everything else becomes worthless. Here's the brutal truth about talking behind people's backs. It reveals more about you than about them. When you gossip, you're essentially advertising that you're willing to betray trust for a moment of entertainment. You're showing that you lack the courage to address issues directly and the wisdom to choose your battles. Strong people talk about ideas, opportunities, solutions. Weak people talk about other people. Which conversation are you usually part of? But let's go deeper. Why do people gossip in the first place? Usually it's because they want to feel superior by putting others down. They're seeking connection through shared negativity. They're avoiding their own problems by focusing on others. They lack the courage to have direct conversations. None of these reasons serve your growth or success. The most successful people I know follow a simple rule. If I wouldn't say it to their face, I won't say it behind their back. This isn't just about kindness. It's about building a reputation as someone who can be trusted, someone who handles conflicts maturely, someone who focuses forward rather than backward. Imagine this scenario. You're in a meeting and someone starts sharing negative information about a colleague who isn't present. You have two choices. You can join in, adding your own comments and feeding the negativity. Or you can redirect. Let's focus on solutions rather than problems. Or maybe we should discuss this directly with them. The first choice might feel good temporarily, but marks you as someone who participates in toxic behavior. The second choice establishes you as a leader, someone with integrity, someone others can trust. Your response to gossip reveals your character more than your participation in it. Here's a practical challenge. For the next month, every time you feel the urge to say something negative about someone who isn't present, pause and ask yourself 3 questions. 1. Would I say this directly to them? 2. Will saying this solve anything or just create more problems? 3. What does saying this reveal about my character? If you wouldn't say it to their face, don't say it at all. If it won't solve anything, redirect the conversation. If it damages your character, choose silence. Remember, in our hyper-connected world, everything you say has a way of getting back to people. That private conversation might be screenshot. That casual comment might be repeated. That moment of gossip might define how people see you for years. Build a reputation as someone who lifts others up, even when they're not around to see it. Because here's the ultimate truth. The way you talk about others when they're absent is exactly how others will talk about you when you're absent. Choose wisely. Here's a truth that will make you uncomfortable. You're not failing enough. In a world obsessed with perfection, with highlight reels and success stories, we've forgotten that failure isn't the opposite of success. It's the pathway to success. Most people are so terrified of making mistakes that they never make anything at all. They wait for the perfect plan, the perfect moment, the perfect circumstances. Meanwhile, successful people are out there failing fast, learning faster, and building unstoppable momentum. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to avoid all mistakes. Let me tell you about James Dyson, the inventor of the revolutionary vacuum cleaner. Do you know how many prototypes he built before creating the final version? 5,126. That's not a typo. 5,126 failures before one success. But here's the beautiful part. He didn't see them as failures. He saw them as education. Each failed prototype taught him something new. Each mistake revealed a better path. Each setback was actually a setup for a breakthrough. While his competitors were afraid to risk failure, Dyson was harvesting wisdom from every mistake. Today, his company is worth billions, built on the foundation of 5,126 failures. This is what I call failing forward, using every mistake as fuel for your next attempt. It's not about celebrating failure. It's about extracting maximum value from every setback. The problem with our education system is that it teaches us failure is shameful. Get a wrong answer? Red mark. Make a mistake? Lower grade. But in the real world, the opposite is true. The person who makes the most intelligent mistakes often wins. Think about babies learning to walk. They don't analyze the physics of balance, study walking techniques, or wait until they're perfectly prepared. They stand up, fall down, get up, fall down, get up again. They fail forward until failing becomes walking. But somewhere along the way, we lose this fearless approach to learning. Here's what I've learned from studying successful entrepreneurs, athletes, and innovators. They all share one common trait. They have a different relationship with failure. While most people see failure as evidence that they should quit, successful people see failure as evidence that they're pushing boundaries. Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, credits her success to her father's unique approach to failure. Every dinner, he would ask his children, "What did you fail at today?" If they had no failures to report, he was disappointed. He taught them that not trying was the only real failure. This mindset shift changes everything. When you're not afraid of failing, you become dangerous. You take calculated risks others won't take. You innovate while others imitate. You grow while others stagnate. But let's be clear, I'm not encouraging reckless behavior. There's a difference between intelligent failure and stupid mistakes. Intelligent failure is taking calculated risks with limited downside, learning from each mistake and adjusting quickly, failing in small, recoverable ways rather than betting everything, using failure as data to improve your approach. Stupid mistakes are repeating the same errors without learning, taking reckless risks with catastrophic potential, failing due to laziness or lack of preparation, ignoring obvious warning signs. The goal isn't to fail more, it's to fail better. Here's your challenge. Identify one area of your life where fear of failure is keeping you stuck. Maybe it's starting that business, asking for that promotion, learning that skill, or having that difficult conversation. Commit to taking one small action this week that might not work out perfectly. Remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every pro was once an amateur. Every icon was once an unknown. The only difference between where you are and where you want to be is the willingness to fail forward. Because in the end, you'll regret the chances you didn't take far more than the mistakes you made taking them. We live in the age of multitasking madness. Everyone wears busyness like a badge of honor. I'm juggling 5 projects, they say proudly. I'm learning 3 languages while building 2 businesses and maintaining 4 side hustles. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Multitasking is a myth, and it's killing your potential. Stanford University conducted a study that should terrify every multitasker. They found that people who multitask are less productive, more prone to errors, and have trouble remembering things. But the most shocking discovery? Heavy multitaskers performed worse even when they weren't multitasking. They had literally trained their brains to be scattered. You're not multitasking. You're task switching, and every switch costs you focus, time, and quality. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates this principle. Two students, Alex and Sam, were preparing for the same competitive exam. Alex studied 5 subjects simultaneously, switching between them every hour to stay fresh. Sam chose 1 subject per day and studied it with complete focus for 8 hours. Alex felt busy, felt productive, felt like he was covering more ground. Sam felt like he was moving slowly, worried he wasn't doing enough. When results came out, Sam scored in the top 5%. Alex didn't even pass. The difference? Depth beats breadth every single time. Think about a laser versus a flashlight. A flashlight spreads light everywhere, but can't cut through anything. A laser focuses all its energy on one point and can cut through steel. Your attention works the same way. When you focus on one thing at a time, something magical happens. You enter a state of flow where time disappears. Your quality of work increases exponentially. You complete tasks faster than you thought possible. You actually enjoy the process more. But when you scatter your attention, you never achieve deep focus on anything. Your work quality suffers across all areas. Tasks take longer because of constant context switching. You feel busy but accomplish little. This is why successful people are often obsessed with one thing. Bill Gates didn't try to revolutionize computers, phones, and cars simultaneously. He focused obsessively on software. Steve Jobs didn't scatter Apple's resources across 100 products. He killed dozens of projects to focus on a few perfect ones. Warren Buffett, one of the world's most successful investors, uses what he calls the 20-to-5 rule. Write down your top 20 goals. Circle the 5 most important ones. Then ignore the other 15 completely until you've achieved the top 5. Why? Because good goals become the enemy of great goals. The abundance of opportunities in today's world is both a blessing and a curse. You can learn anything, start any business, connect with anyone. But infinite options create infinite distractions. While you're sampling everything, someone else is mastering something. Here's what focus really means in practical terms. Choose one major goal for this quarter and say no to everything else. When working, close all other tabs, apps, and distractions. Set specific times for checking messages, not throughout the day. Learn to say no to good opportunities so you can say yes to great ones. I know what you're thinking, but what if I miss out on other opportunities? Here's the truth. By trying to catch every opportunity, you'll catch none. By focusing deeply on one opportunity, you'll create many others. Focus is your competitive advantage in a distracted world. Everyone else is scattered, switching between tasks, trying to do everything at once. While they're spreading themselves thin, you're going deep. While they're busy, you're productive. While they're reactive, you're strategic. Your challenge: pick one major project or goal. For the next 30 days, dedicate your peak energy hours exclusively to this one thing. Watch how much more you accomplish with focused effort than you ever did with scattered attention. Because in a world full of generalists, specialists rule. In an age of distraction, focus is your superpower. Everyone wants to be the best. Best student, best employee, best entrepreneur. But here's a revolutionary thought that will change how you see competition forever. Stop trying to be the best. Start trying to be the only. When you try to be the best, you're playing someone else's game by someone else's rules. You're measuring yourself against existing standards, competing in crowded spaces, fighting for scraps of attention in oversaturated markets. But when you become the only, you create your own game. You set your own rules. You own your own space. Let me show you the difference. There are thousands of great singers who try to be the best vocalist. They study the same techniques, follow the same formulas, compete for the same opportunities. Then someone like Billie Eilish comes along, whispering instead of belting, creating intimacy instead of power, breaking every rule about what a pop star should be. She didn't try to be better than other singers. She became the only singer doing what she was doing. Result? Global phenomenon, Grammy sweeps, cultural influence that transcends music. This is the power of being the only. Think about the most successful people you know. Were they really the best at what they did, or were they the only ones doing it the way they did it? Was Steve Jobs the best engineer? No, but he was the only one combining technology with artistic design philosophy. Was Oprah the best interviewer? Debatable, but she was the only one turning interviews into transformational experiences. Was Elon Musk the best businessman? Questionable, but he's the only one crazy enough to simultaneously revolutionize cars, space travel, and social media. They didn't compete, they created. Here's why this matters more than ever. In our hyper-connected world, being best is temporary. Someone younger, smarter, or more resourceful is always coming. But being only is sustainable. You can't be copied because you're not following a template. You are the template. The problem is that being the only requires courage. It means ignoring what everyone else is doing, risking failure by trying something untested, being misunderstood until you're vindicated, creating your own metrics for success. Most people choose the safety of competition over the uncertainty of creation. They'd rather be the 100th best at something popular than the first and only at something unique. But here's what they don't realize. There's no traffic jams on the extra mile. So how do you become the only? Start by identifying your unique combination of skills, experiences, and perspectives. Everyone has one. The question is whether you're brave enough to build on it. Maybe you're a doctor who's also a stand-up comedian. Instead of trying to be the best doctor or the best comedian, become the only medical professional using humor to heal. Maybe you're a finance expert who loves fitness. Instead of competing with other financial advisors, become the only one specializing in helping athletes manage their money. Your uniqueness is your unfair advantage. Look at your background, your interests, your unusual experiences. What combination do you have that no one else has? What perspective do you bring that others can't? What problems do you see solutions for that others ignore? The marketplace rewards uniqueness far more than perfection. People don't want another best option. They want the only option that solves their specific problem in a way no one else can. Your goal isn't to outcompete everyone in your field. Your goal is to create a field where you're the only player. This doesn't mean being weird for the sake of being different. It means being authentic to who you are and building something that only you could build. Stop asking, how can I beat them? Start asking, how can I create something they can't even copy? Because in a world full of copies, originals are priceless. In a market full of competitors, creators are kings. Most people live their entire lives as passengers in their own story. They complain about their job, but never look for a new one. They hate their habits, but never break them. They dream of a different life, but never take different actions. Here's the truth that will either inspire you or terrify you. You are not a tree. You're not stuck. Every single day, you wake up with the power to change your circumstances. The question isn't whether you can change, it's whether you will. Because change is uncomfortable, uncertain, and often scary. Staying the same is predictable, even when it's painful. Let me tell you about Maria, a woman who spent 15 years in a job that drained her soul. Every Monday morning, she felt sick. Every Sunday night, she couldn't sleep. She complained to friends, family, anyone who would listen. I hate my job, she'd say. My boss is terrible. The work is meaningless. I'm wasting my life. Her friends would nod sympathetically and offer the same advice. You should look for something else. But Maria always had excuses. The economy is bad. I need the security. I'm too old to start over. What if I can't find anything better? 15 years of excuses. 15 years of the same misery. Then one day, her company announced layoffs. Maria's position was eliminated. The security she'd clung to vanished overnight. Suddenly, she had no choice but to change. Within 6 months, she'd started her own consulting business. Within a year, she was earning more than her old job and loving every minute of it. I wish I'd been laid off 10 years earlier, she told me. I wasted so much time being afraid of change when change was exactly what I needed. This is the paradox of human nature. We fear change more than suffering. But here's what Maria learned, and what you need to understand. The pain of staying the same eventually becomes greater than the pain of changing. The question is, will you wait for circumstances to force change upon you, or will you take control and change your circumstances? Change isn't easy, but neither is staying stuck. The difference is that change is temporary discomfort leading to potential joy, while staying stuck is permanent discomfort leading to guaranteed regret. Everything in your life that you don't like is changeable. Everything. Don't like your physical condition? Change your diet and exercise routine. Don't like your financial situation? Change your spending habits and income strategies. Don't like your relationships? Change your standards and communication patterns. Don't like your mindset? Change your thoughts and environment. But change is risky, you might say. You're absolutely right. But so is not changing. Every day you don't change is a day you're betting that staying the same will somehow lead to different results. That's not just risky, it's impossible. The most successful people I know share one common trait. They're comfortable with change. They don't wait for permission, perfect timing, or guaranteed outcomes. When something isn't working, they change it. When they see a better path, they take it. When they outgrow their current situation, they evolve. Change is how you level up in life. Here's your action plan. Right now, identify the 3 things in your life that cause you the most frustration, stress, or dissatisfaction. For each one, ask yourself, 1. What specific actions could I take to change this? 2. What's stopping me from taking those actions? 3. Are my reasons valid, or are they just comfortable excuses? Then pick one, just one, and commit to changing it over the next 90 days. Not thinking about changing it, not planning to change it, actually changing it. Remember, change doesn't have to be dramatic to be powerful. Small, consistent changes compound into massive transformations. The river doesn't move the boulder in one day. It shapes it drop by drop, day by day. You have more power than you realize. You have more options than you see. You have more control than you believe. The life you want is waiting on the other side of the changes you're afraid to make. As we reach the end of this journey together, I want you to understand something profound. These aren't just 30 rules. They're 30 doorways to a completely different life. Every single principle we've discussed today connects to one central truth. You have far more control over your destiny than you've been led to believe. The world wants you to think you're powerless, that circumstances control you, that change is impossible. But that's the greatest lie ever told. You are not a victim of your circumstances. You are the architect of your future. The young person watching this video has the same 24 hours as the most successful person on earth. The difference isn't time, talent, or luck. It's the daily choice to live by principles that compound into extraordinary results. These rules aren't suggestions. They're the operating system of successful people. Work smart, build willpower, create instead of consume, speak with integrity, embrace failure, focus deeply, be unique, take control. These aren't separate concepts. They're interconnected forces that, when combined, create unstoppable momentum. The most beautiful part? You don't have to master all 30 at once. Pick 3 that resonate most deeply. Live by them for 90 days. Watch how they transform not just your results, but your identity. Because when you change how you operate, you change who you become. Your future self is watching you right now, hoping you'll make the choice to start today. If this video ignited something inside you, if even one rule hit your soul, then this is your moment. Don't let this feeling fade into another forgotten video. Hit that subscribe button and join the Epic English Stories family, where we don't just tell stories, we live them. Ring the notification bell, because I'll be here every week with truth that transforms. Most importantly, comment below. Which of these 30 rules will you commit to starting today? Your commitment in the comments isn't just for me. It's your public declaration to yourself. Remember, legends aren't born, they're built. One choice, one day, one rule at a time. Your epic story starts now.